We have a Patreon poll, Ian.
Patreon.com/CU podcast.
What do you get there?
You get writings. You get a full video podcast. You get a bonus.
Bonus monthly podcast
Bonus
now.
monthly podcast now.
And you vote on a poll.
You get hangouts and you get polls.
Ah! In second place, why do Pat and Ian talk about controversial topics? First place, is there a video game character that you identify with? At 74%.
Kirby.
Why do you identify with Kirby?
Why do I identify with Kirby? Because he's adorable and I wish I was adorable. He's puffy. He's puffy and cute.
Are you puffy and cute? I think you're puffy and cute.
I try. He eats a lot. Kirby's constantly eating. He's a very, very hungry boy. And he likes to sleep. I definitely like to sleep. So I'm very much into Kirby. Sugar makes him invincible.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Well,
in Kirby lore.
the sucker makes him invincible. So
okay.
We're going to assume that it's the sugar that does it.
Brownies might do the same thing?
Brownies might do the same thing. Sugar definitely makes me feel invincible.
Before the crash?
Before the crash. So yes, I tend to identify with the cute ones.
And you like pink, and Kirby's pink.
I do love pink. Yep. So probably Kirby.
All right.
What about you?
You know what? I had to think about this one, and I'm still gonna stall for time because I really don't have one in my head right now. But when you think about a lot of the characters in these games, I guess you got to identify with the plucky underdogs, because I guess that's a good thing to identify with. I thought about Duke Togo, Gogol 13. Rest in peace to the creator who passed away.
Yep, last week.
Takeo Saito died at like 84 years old.
Longest was still hand drawn at all.
That's incredible.
Yep.
For almost 60 years, 55 years, the longest running manga, and that's insane. That's insane. Yeah. Anyway, so I can't pick Duke Togo because he's an amoral assassin. But if you're into that sort of thing, he's got a strict code of conduct like a Bushido.
That's right.
And he beds down the women. And if you see the anime or manga in emotionless states, like his expression doesn't change. It's almost like just you have to do it to get out of your system. Usually before he does a hit on somebody. Seriously, that's what he does. Probably to calm his nerves. The opposite of a boxer. Boxers are not supposed to have sex before a fight. It's bad for the legs or whatever. Anyway. So I can't pick that. I'd be a sociopath if I picked that. But damn, do I love that character. For sure. Then I thought of like something that you might agree with, because it goes back to being a kid and adventuring, and I was in love with the movies. So Mikey from Goonies 2.
Ah.
Mikey was what you wanted to be when you were a kid.
Yeah, it's true.
You wanted to, I mean, you did that. It's almost like not even like, I guess you could, identify with it. That's what you did. You ventured around, you got on your bike, you'd ride, to the next town, and then you come back and there's a search party looking for you. That happened to me when I was in second grade because I wanted to go hang out with Kevin. Damn you, Kevin. But the Goonies is really just kids having fun. So that's why I love the movie. Rest in peace, Richard Donner, great director. You go on an adventure, you want to find treasure, you get into trouble, you go in the woods, you find creepy caves. You did that stuff when you were a kid. There was woods by my house. There was, stuff to investigate. There was like a few different like woods areas, one by a cemetery, one by, a lake. And that's what you did. You got into trouble. You went biking off road with your bike, with your BMX bike. You bickered with each other as kids do. There's almost never a day where you didn't yell at one of your friends or friends didn't yell at one of you to have a disagreement. At least with us. When you get like,
oh no, you're always fighting.
Once you get like more than 3 kids together, there's going to be disagreements. Like you got to. It's hard to keep that cohesive unit, at least with us. So I think Mikey from Goonies 2. That's pretty much the character that I identified with. That's who I was closest to, probably, like in reality.
Were you hunting for mermaids? You're trying to find your mermaid girlfriend?
No, they just made Annie into a mermaid for some reason, right? Was that explained in the lore? Why did that happen?
No, that was not explained in the lore.
That turned me off. See, when I was a kid, I was always very particular about this stuff. So when I heard that, I'm like, this isn't the movie. Like what is this? Like, where are the booby traps? Like what? I wanted that.
Where are the booby traps?
I didn't like the game. I watched Goonies 2 every day on a dubbed VHS.
You did not watch Goonies 2 every day.
I mean, Goonies.
VHS.
I watched Goonies. But like, I wish it was a Goonies 2. They almost made one 12 years ago. Damn it.
From what I understand, that's had many starts and stops, and it just
And now
never
it's not
went
going to
anywhere.
happen.
Yeah,
It's not going to happen. It's too late now. Damn it. That would have been so great if they came back with their own kids in like the late 2000s. But no, I watched that every day, Goonies, and then the Goonies 2 game was like, this is not the movie I don't want to play it. That's basically what happened. My one friend had it. I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get the game. I like that you're yo-yoing the Fratellis. Anti-Italian discrimination. See? Even the Goonies, they're Italian. They're fucking mobsters, basically. They're drug dealers. How is that a kids movie again? So, you see someone get shot in the head. How is that a kids movie? It was the 80s. Didn't matter. There was corpses and stuff in that movie.
They threatened to put that Chunk's hand in the blender.
I got the Goonies. This is a coincidence. I've had this for years. The Goonies Chunk keychain thing.
That plastic is woefully faded.
Oh, it's not that bad. This is only 10 years old or so.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
It looks like it sat out in the sun for
So
a
as an
long
aside, we're
time.
going off topic. I always thought to Sloth, he said, you smell like fish heads. He said, you smell like Fizz Ed. I didn't know that. That line was actually Fizz Ed.
Oh, I always thought it was fish heads too.
See? You smell like Fizz Ed. Maybe they changed that for the back of this. Are any ones you identify with that really? How about the Altered Beast guy? He gets ripped and turns into an animal.
No,
Is that a furry fantasy?
probably
Probably more furry fantasy.
probably more of a furry fantasy.
With that, you never got into that stuff, the furry stuff.
Not really.
Not really.
No.
Do you ever identify with Mario or Luigi? I identify with Luigi a little bit.
No, that's one of the funny
We should bring
things.
that up.
I feel like I don't identify with either of them. I
Luigi a
love
little
them, but as far as video game characters, two Italian plumbers are about as far from me identifying with anything as can be.
They're not mafioso, at least. They're hardworking,
It's true.
blue-collar guys. Luigi, I always like because I go back to this. My sister never let me play first player
Right.
in Super Mario Brothers. Like,
Your sister is slightly older than you.
4 years older, so she
4
kicked
years,
the crap out of me. 12-year-old girl versus an 8-year-old boy. Yeah, you're getting your ass kicked. I got threatened. Absolutely.
Sure.
Love my sister, but she would threaten to beat me up quite often.
I understand.
Very rare when she actually. Very rare to correct.
It was a 4-year age difference between me and my brother. Too.
That's huge when you're a kid. That's like
Yeah.
you can't
3.5 technically.
You
but
cannot
still.
muscle that.
We were never in high school together. Let me
2
put it
years
that
is
way.
hard to out muscle, let alone
Yeah.
4 years, and you're done. That's like 5 weight classes
Yeah.
when you're a kid. But my sister would never let me play first, which is funny because it was my NES. It was mine. Let me play first. So I would kind of identify with Luigi. That's why I have a love for Luigi because of that. Just because of that alone, I was like, okay, we're kind of the underdogs. We're not. Luigi doesn't get the credit they deserve, or he deserves, versus Mario. Mario gets all the credit for saving the princess. Luigi helped. Luigi sometimes he pitches in. Come on, no credit there. How about I thought about Ryu Hayabusa, but I never avenged my family member's death and traveled to America.
Yeah, I was gonna say I
I
don't
did
think
that.
you've ever done any
I don't
of
think
that.
I've ever done that. I can't identify with that too much. Is that it? Is there anyone else you identify? No children characters like the kid from Monster Party, or you ever swung a bat and beat up a giant Venus flytrap?
When I was a kid, I always thought that it's funny that you bring it up because I always
Oh.
thought about it with Mikey from not Mikey. What's the fucking character's name? It is Mikey. The character's name from Star Tropics. But
Oh, yeah.
I always wanted to use a yo-yo as a weapon as a kid.
You think there's a connection to that in the Goonies game?
No, I don't think there is.
Okay.
I'm just saying, yo-yos being used as weapons is not entirely uncommon in video games, and I feel like it would be fun.
Was Goonies the first one though that did it?
Maybe.
Sorry.
Yo-yos as weapons.
Mike Jones for Smash. Why didn't he show up in Smash?
Mike Jones, that's it. It is Mikey. Everyone wanted him to be in Smash.
Or even he's not even like an assist character. Is he an assist
No,
character?
Nintendo never talks
They
about
never talk
Star
about.
Tropics.
Yeah, why not? I wonder. Too weird.
Well, I mean, my understanding is, and I don't think this is just Star Tropics was created specifically for the U.S. audience.
Oh, I see.
I don't think Star Tropics or Star Tropics 2 actually have Famicom releases.
So it doesn't make any sense.
Or if they did, it was after they were released in the US.
Good point, Ian. That's right, because it was a late. The Star Tropics 2 was a very late NES release.
Very late. I remember Star Tropics 2 specifically because it was the ads bundled it. I don't think it was actually bundled, but the advertisements bundled it with the top loading NES.
Yes,
like that's how late it was.
93, 94. Yeah, you're talking end of the line. That's always the one that they have Toys R Us. 10 years later, they had it sealed for sale. They had stacks of them. They had tons of them for like $5-10.
Yeah.
Then.